There are a lot of nuances and individualization when it comes to achieving a weight loss goal, but when it comes to burning fat, there are 5 basics that can help you get about 95% of your weight loss results when repeated on a daily basis. Let's dive into them. My name's Autumn. I'm a certified clinical nutritionist with my master's in nutrition human performance, and today's video is sponsored by LMNT. More on them in a bit. Okay, the first weight loss basic is to eat full meals that you actually like. This is kind of a two-parter because first of all, we do want to focus on full meals, not snacking. In other words, like ditch that 6 meal a day thing. The reason why people thought and theorized that eating 6 meals a day would be helpful for a weight loss goal is because they thought it would help to reduce hunger. But in reality, studies are showing the exact opposite, that eating 3 full meals a day actually helps you feel more full and not hungry than just 6 meals a day. Plus, who wants to plan out 6 little meals? That's a lot of effort. Nobody has time for that. And when we're in a state of hunger, like you're more likely to be when you're eating 6 small meals per day versus 3 meals, that's when we make the decisions that don't support our weight loss or wellness goals because we're reacting out of a state of hunger or even low blood sugar. But the second part of this is that it is important to eat meals that you actually like. If you don't like it, you're not going to eat it. Simple as that. And when you don't eat, you're gonna get hungry and then crave foods that work against your goals. So yeah, maybe like your best friend who lost 20 pounds loves kale salad with chicken, but it's not really your thing. You don't have to be eating the same types of foods. In fact, I found the most success with trying to find the foods that you most enjoy and make them into a meal that supports your goals. For example, if you're a sandwich person and you've always loved sandwiches and it's easy for you, you can make a sandwich that does support your goals by swapping out the high glycemic bread for some other type of lower carbohydrate bread. I actually have a full video on this. If you want to check out my recommendations for low carb breads, you can find it right up here. And then making sure that sandwich is packed with the protein that you need. So that could be like even deli meat if you wanted it, or egg salad, or maybe even a can of tuna. The trick is just figuring out the format that you need to follow to support your goals and then making sure that those meals are meals that you actually like. Ugh, like another one of my favorites. I love lasagna growing up, so I made my own zucchini lasagna recipe. Don't knock it till you've tried it. It is amazing. You don't even taste the zucchini. It tastes like the real deal. And it's super supportive of weight loss and wellness goals. I'll also have that recipe linked down in the description below just so you guys can get an idea of how you can actually make meals that you love that also support your goals, which is so important. And kind of like a third part of this first one is that you can always add on intermittent fasting when you're sticking to full meals. It's kind of almost like a natural step when you go from grazing or having 6 meals a day to having 3 meals a day to then eventually using intermittent fasting. It's a good progression and can really help to take your results to the next level as well, which obviously I have so many videos on intermittent fasting and how to get started, but I'll have one of my favorite videos on how you can get started with intermittent fasting linked right up here. Okay, the second tool to repeat is to make sure you're walking at least 8,200 steps per day. Seems oddly specific, but there's actually a recent study that came out specifically on 8,200 steps per day. And it found that not only were the more steps that you take associated with less obesity and weight gain, but also a lot of other health benefits like reduced incidence of acid reflux, reduced sleep apnea, and reduced major depressive disorder. Now, something that I found to be really beneficial is to try and get those steps spread out throughout the day. So rather than doing like one really big walk or one really long run first thing in the morning to hit those steps and then not really move the rest of the day, it's beneficial to spread out that activity. So if you could do like a 20 or 30-minute walk first thing in the morning or at lunch, and then break up your day with a few 10-minute walks to help break up those sedentary moments. This can help boost insulin sensitivity and make the body just burn fat as fuel a little better. But it is really hard to overdo walking. So if you decide that you want to do more than 8,200 steps, great. Like I on average get between 12 to 15,000 steps per day, and that's my sweet spot for feeling really great. But at least making sure that every single day you're hitting that minimum of 8,200 steps is key. Now, if you are adding walking to help you achieve a weight loss goal, it's really likely you're going to need to start replacing your electrolytes. I recommend using a zero sugar option and make sure that it supports your weight loss goals as well, like today's sponsor, LMNT. I've been using LMNT for over 2 years. It's the only electrolyte supplement that I will ever take because it actually contains the sodium, the magnesium, and the potassium to help replace those lost electrolytes that are often lost from intermittent fasting, exercise, and lower carb eating. I found that for myself, having 1 to 2 elements per day and making sure that I'm properly hydrated has really helped to boost my energy levels, especially in the afternoon, and help prevent headaches and muscle aches that are super common when using intermittent fasting. They even have their grapefruit flavor out right now, which is my absolute favorite. If you guys have not grabbed that, make sure you do. It's their limited release flavor that they only have like this time of year. year, and they often sell out quickly, and it's so good. I've already made sure to stock up on it myself, so definitely make sure you don't miss it. LMNT is also really easy to use. You just tear open the package, dump it in your water, give it a shake, and you're ready to go. And right now, LMNT is offering my viewers a free sample pack with any order. That's 8 single-serve packets free with any LMNT order. It's a really great way to test out all 8 flavors, so you can get yours at drinklmnt.com/autumn. It is only available through my link, so make sure to check out drinklmnt.com/autumn. I'll also have the link down in the description below. Okay, this third tool is way more important than most people give it credit for, and it's to consistently get 8 hours of sleep a night. Remember, each of these tools really only works when you do it every single day. And poor sleep is directly tied to obesity and waking around the belly. And this is because when you get a bad night's sleep, even just one night of bad sleep can increase your insulin resistance the next day, making it harder to burn fat as fuel. It also increases your hunger hormone ghrelin, making you a lot more hungry and crave foods that work against your goals like sugar and starches. Poor sleep also just makes you less energized, so you're more likely to reach for an extra cup of caffeine or just not even get the steps in or the exercise in for that day. Now, the only way to make sure you're consistently getting high quality deep sleep is to actually set some type of sleep schedule. We've got to go back to the basics. First of all, set a bedtime for yourself. For example, for myself to get 8 hours of sleep a night, I need to be in bed by 9 p.m. So that 9 p.m. is when I aim to be asleep. Now, from that point, you need to count backwards by 30 minutes. Because for most people, you can't just get in bed at 9 and immediately conk out and fall asleep. Typically, a lot of people need some time to wind down. So 30 minutes before 9 p.m., for myself, that's 8:30. That's when I make sure all TV, all phone, all laptops are turned off, because that light that's emitted from our technology causes our body to think it's daytime and makes it so that we don't get the high quality sleep that we really need. If you're using magnesium, this would be a great time to take that as well to help support high quality deep sleep. And this is huge. Might seem small, but this is huge. Make sure you go pee before bed. So many people are waking up throughout the night and disrupting their sleep because they aren't going pee before bed. Make sure that literally right before bed, you go pee. This will save you from waking yourself up in the middle of the night. And even if you think you don't have to, just try. Okay, the fourth tool to be doing every single day is to remove those high glycemic load foods. So the glycemic load is a measurement of how quickly a food raises our blood sugar levels. And high glycemic load foods really rapidly raise our blood sugar, which therefore also really increases our storing hormone insulin, which in turn shuts off our fat burning mechanisms. Not only does it shut off the fat burning, but it also causes a big spike and then a fall in blood sugar level, causing you to be hungry and crave more sugar pretty much within 1 to 2 hours. Riding this roller coaster ride when including high glycemic load foods makes it nearly impossible to achieve a long-lasting weight loss goal. So instead, we have to ditch those high glycemic foods, things like rice. White rice has such a high glycemic load. And remember, we're talking specifically about a weight loss goal. If you have an athletic goal, you have an entirely different goal, an entirely different set of strategies. This is specifically what needs to be done from a weight loss perspective, especially to actually maintain those weight loss results. Other high glycemic load foods includes things like most flours, actually pretty much all flours other than almond flour and coconut flour are going to be really high glycemic load. Added sugars, jams, processed food products, cereals, chips, crackers, those are the foods that will just cause that rapid spike in blood sugar and therefore a rapid spike in the storing hormone insulin. If you're like, great, cool, but what does that leave me with to eat? I have a full blog post with all the glycemic load options, so you can check that out. I'll have that linked also down in the description below for you guys. Okay, the fifth thing that needs to be done every single day, and this one is just as important as the rest, and it's to eat your protein needs. Eating a higher protein amount compared to most people's lower protein intake has actually been found to be better than just simple calorie restriction at achieving a weight loss goal. Plus, it makes you feel more satisfied and prevents sugar cravings, so it just makes things easier too. But most people are not hitting anywhere close to their protein needs to actually get these benefits of eating enough protein. And even if you think you're eating enough protein because you're calorie tracking and you've done my protein calculation in the past and you can see on your calorie tracker you're hitting that, those calorie trackers can actually be really tricky because they're not factoring in the protein quality. So even if you're eating, quote, enough protein, you're probably not eating enough high quality protein protein to see the benefits. Low quality protein would be something like peanut butter. Peanut butter technically has protein, but it actually is a very, very poor quality protein that is not used in the same way as something like eggs. In fact, there's a study done on vegetarians and omnivorous diet folks who both ate the same amount of protein, but it found that those on a vegetarian diet actually had less muscle mass and lower muscle quality than those who ate a more omnivorous diet while eating the exact same amount of protein. So protein quality matters, and it's not to say that you can't eat a vegetarian or plant-based diet and not have higher quality protein. You just really need to be aware of what those higher quality proteins are. Some great options for higher quality proteins include foods like tempeh, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, eggs, beef, lamb, pork, chicken, fish. So many different options to choose from. You just need to be making sure that you're prioritizing those high quality proteins and making sure that you're actually getting enough for your body's needs. So if you haven't used my protein calculator video yet, make sure you check that out with this video next. Also, if you're new to my channel and you love this science-backed information, make sure you subscribe right here. Come out new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in my next video.